magazine of the screen. Living glimpses of history in the making.
Skaldvic.
People have a choice of several arteries of transportation. Certainly the most important means within the city is the subway. Almost any section of the city is within easy walking distance of a subway station. And by subway, one can travel to most points in the city, quicker and cheaper than by any other way. The bus lines form another important artery. Their routes weave a tightly laced pattern over the face of
Skaldvic.
And one can find a convenient bus line almost anywhere in the city. Buses are slower than the subway, but they offer the pleasure of being able to see store windows and the people of the city as they work and play. Every large city has a problem of unusually heavy traffic during rush hours. As a solution, many streets are one way. Others have restricted parking zones, and parking buildings keep cars off the streets. To supplement the existing routes, big express highways have been built to carry cars at high speeds directly to and from the heart of the city. The intersections of these express highways are designed so that cars may enter and leave without disturbing the flow of traffic. To serve the people in the suburbs, a network of parkways has been built. These allow cars to go swiftly from the far suburbs to the very heart of the city without interference of cross traffic. This group of research workers analyzes population trends to determine when and where new arteries are needed. Over a period of time, the people of the city move from old sections to new ones. As the population shifts to other sections, transportation must move with them, and new arteries must be built. With the development of new sources of power and faster transportation, there will be new problems to solve. But New York, like all progressive cities, is studying and planning today to provide the arteries for tomorrow, through which flow the lifeblood of the city.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. We're back in Skaldvic. I'm updating some of the names here because I want to try and continue this story that we've been building, especially in the past couple of episodes. So we got to rename Big Joe's district there. And I got this wonderful comment on one of the earlier videos. At the beginning of the series, we'd had a terrible problem with garbage trucks, and it was suggested that maybe they'd been using the park for that, so I've changed that name over to Dump Park. I think that's amazing. If you guys have more suggestions like that, so we can kind of build this story, that sounds amazing. I really enjoy it, and I think it brings a little bit more life. For now, I'm just putting some placeholders in, because the placeholders that the game gives us are terrible. But seriously, if you're thinking of any sort of a name, even if you just are like, I want something named after me, let me know, and I will do my best to throw it into the city. Right now, I'm just trying to get rid of some of these placeholders. But we have a bit to do here today in the episode. Specifically, after we kind of left the big city behind to build the airport, and we are running into some big traffic problems. It is getting there's too much. These buses are running way past capacity. I mean, 400 passengers on the yellow line. The 129 here, 615, a couple hundred at the other stops. I mean, obviously something needs to change, and we need to find a way to make this central thoroughfare here, this main street, run a little bit better, because you can see it's starting to get pretty clogged up. So I have an asset somewhere here for a tram station that will sit next to a road instead of on it. And I think if we run one of these side by side, it should really help alleviate some of these problems. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. Alright, so after all of that building, nobody is using our tram line. This tram line runs right up and down the center here where most of the traffic occurs, and the tram never crosses the road, so I was hoping people would use it and get some of these traffic out of the way. But I think maybe they're still using this bus line, so what if we just delete it? That made people angry. Oh! Oh, yeah, okay, but that works. Look, oh my gosh, look how many people there are. Yeah, that's phenomenal. So, let's see how many people get on here. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. He's gonna run away already. Let's take a look. Passenger 6, I doubt that. Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a lot more people suddenly. Let's put a couple more. Let's get this up to 12. I mean, 400 at this stop? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to work just fine. I mean, these trams are going to fill up completely. I mean, let's take a look at this. That one's full already. Yeah, already at 210. It's going to move right along. And, okay, next guy's not going to stop. But this one, yep, filled up to 209, boarding twice for some. You know what? That works. That's fine. And a whole bunch of people just got off. Yeah, this is so much better. I mean, we're still getting a little bit of buildup in traffic here. And these bus stops are full. It was at the yellow line. Yeah, the yellow lines, they're the ones that go kind of across the city over to the train station, and those ones still seem absolutely full. So I'm thinking we're going to need to do a little bit of overhaul on those ones. And let's jump into a time lapse and get started. So we are all set up with our 4 new metros. We've got our red, green, and a blue that run east-west to the train station, the purple down by the water. I think this is going to do a lot to help fix what's going on. But we do have this big empty space here that some of the lines run through, and we haven't really done any building per se this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of build another little community right in here, and I'll bring you back when that's finished. So here's our new little area. We got a little bit of places for some people to live, some places to work, a nice big parking garage in the middle, high school, etc. But we have these old bus lines now that we kind of need to figure out what to do with. They've got tons of vehicles on the line, but not necessarily a ton of people using them anymore. And a lot of that is now because people have decided that these metros are a lot better way to get around. I mean, let's take a look at the purple line down here. We're gonna need a lot more people here. That's looking pretty. At 900 at the top. Okay, let's put it's this one right here. Let's put a couple more trains on there. Let's just double check the other ones. Yeah, this is going to need a couple more vehicles as well. Got a couple hundred people waiting. And let's check. Yes, this one also needs a whole bunch. And the green line. Oh no, this is the airport one. I don't need that. The green line is actually not being used as much. What's going on here? It is disconnected. Can you just come over here, please? Can't find path. Oh god. Oh no. I botched it. Okay, purple line comes here and gets a little stop. And now one of you can't find path. It's probably just broken underground here. Is that what's going on? Yeah. Let's just rebuild this connection and maybe... There you go. That's gotta work, right? So we drag this over to this one, I think. Which direction? We'll go this way. Yeah. And now it's connected. Perfect. So now people should use the green line. That's what's important. Give them some time to readjust there. But as I was saying, we do have these bus lines here that are quickly being used less and less. I mean, this one actually needs more buses, weirdly enough. It was not a good example, but I want to do something different with how the bus lines go, because right now they're just following the main avenues. I'm still getting a little bit of backup here. But I want the buses to be... I mean, this is running fine, but again, people aren't using it a ton. The metros really just cannibalized everything, I think. But in either case, I want to fix our bus lines because I want the buses to collect people and bring them to the tram or to the metro instead of following the big avenues like they are. So I'm going to go ahead and build some bus lines that sit in each of the neighborhoods instead of carrying between the neighborhoods, which is really more what the buses should be used for. But I was a little lazy about building the infrastructure in the first place. So, for example, I want to make sure that this one's hitting the high school and getting up somewhat near the tram line and just generally working its way through. So we'll put a stop right outside the metro stop there, and it can cross over somewhere. Maybe it comes up this way. Yeah, I can sit outside the other high school and through the middle here. But so this way people that are in the neighborhood might hop on the bus really quickly and it will bring them over towards maybe the school that they're going to or closer to one of the metro stops if they're trying to go further along. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this across the city now and really just clean up these bus lines and just give it a name so I can remember it. M1, Metro Bus 1. Perfect. And maybe we'll actually start naming things correctly here. And I want to use all one type of bus, and let's use the biofuel one just to be different and fancy. So let me go ahead and put some of these down in the other little districts. Alright, so I figured the easiest way to kind of show what we've done is to go into the CSL mod, which kind of gives you an image where it will show you all of the different pieces of your metro lines. So as you can see here, we have all of the M lines, which are the bus lines, and then the MX line is the tram line running down the middle. And then you can also see the lines, the blue, the green, and the purple are the metro lines running underneath. So we have pretty good coverage now across the entire city, which is very, very different than how it looked at the start. For reference, here's what it looked like before we began today's episode. I mean, so you won't see anything named on this one because they didn't have names at the time, but yeah, there is a lot less coverage in this first version. I mean, you can see some of them, but it looks nothing at all like what we were just looking at here. I will say this is my first experience with this mod. I've always seen it on Reddit and things like that, but never actually used it, and it is wonderful. It's really fun. So the last thing to do here was another comment that I got. I posted a picture of the airport on Reddit, and I got this response here saying to repaint the resources so it doesn't look like it's on top of a farm still. And I mean, I honestly don't know how I didn't think to do that. It makes perfect sense. So I'm just gonna kind of run through here and hold right click and just kind of get rid of everything underneath the airport that shouldn't be there. And I mean, it already looks a lot better. Fortunately, that is all the time that we have for today's video. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so you can get updates when the next couple of videos are coming out. I recently started a Discord if you want to join the community and talk about some of these games with other people like you. We have a whole bunch of channels set up in there to share what you've been working on and just chat generally. So the link should be somewhere on the page. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put it up on the video itself. Otherwise, I hope you are all staying safe and staying well, and I will catch you in the next one.